I had said I thought the Niners should have rebooted last year. They did it this year. Here's what I worry about. Between Ward, the corner, Hufanga, the safety, Greenlaw, the linebacker, these are smart, instinctive players. And now you got to go to the draft and replace them. I think sometimes we forget how important intelligence is in this league, experience is in this league. I can go replace a back or a receiver. Do you worry about the Niners losing so much intellectual capital and experience on that defense?
Well, I would, except I think they play a pretty simple style of defense where it's just, hey, we're going to simplify so you can play fast. My biggest concern, really, Colin, was on the offensive side of the ball when they lost Kyle Juszczyk, and then he was able to come back on a different contract and get him back. I think that would have been a much bigger loss than people realize. I mean, some teams don't even carry a fullback. If they do, he's like the last, he's the 53rd guy on their roster. But with this offense, with what Kyle does offensively, Juszczyk's position, and a lot of the guys on offense, but he's almost like another quarterback out there. Defensively, I think it's, if you can go younger, cheaper, faster, and you believe in that scheme, I think that's where they're choosing to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Listen, there's all this obsession with some of the moves that the 49ers are making. And they very well could be taking, a step back per se, but I don't understand why people are acting like the 49ers, like that they're slipping into like New York Giants, Cleveland Browns, New York Jets territory. Like I don't understand. I really don't. And yeah, like this team dealt with such injuries and so much inconsistency that moving on from a lot of players, getting younger, getting cheaper, I mean, it makes sense. And again, this is also the benefit of having high-level coaching. You have Shanahan, now Saleh, offense, defense. Bringing in Saleh in here, like, his objective now is to revamp this defense, rebuild this defense, make it back to being a top defense in the NFL. Which we know he can do. We know he can do that. He's done it now in multiple places. So there's no reason to believe that he won't be able to get this defense back on track. So I don't understand why that's, why some of these things are seen as a concern. Listen, are you going to, like, if you want to ask a question, will the 49ers be Super Bowl bound in 25? Probably not. Like it's the deck is probably stacked against them to be able to do that. Which again is okay. They just went to the Super Bowl a year ago, essentially. So like it's okay to kind of have to revamp this thing, but people are acting like the 49ers are going into the poorhouse. Like, it's just Mayday, Mayday. This is a disaster. Oh, my God. What are they doing? Everything's on fire. Like, oh, my gosh. And it's just like, can we just chill for a second? Like, this has been a wildly consistent, stable, high-functioning, high-achieving, high-level franchise for years now. And now that they're making some decisions, we're acting like, oh, my goodness. We're just done. It's over. Game, set, match. And it's just like, let's relax here. And Colin keeps saying, I would have done this a year earlier or something. And it's like, if everybody was healthy last season and they didn't deal with the level of injuries that they dealt with, there's no reason to believe that this team wouldn't have been back to being a top playoff team, competing in the playoffs, and capable of beating, a lot of these other teams. Do I think they would have found, that they would have been better than the Philadelphia Eagles? Probably not, because the Philadelphia Eagles were truly that great. So it was always going to be a hard season to win it all. But in truth, not many people thought the Philadelphia Eagles were going to be as dominant as they became. I don't think anyone was anticipating them to hang 95 points in the final two games of the season, of the playoffs. So that was just, is what it is. But I just, for the life of me, they're revamping this team, bringing in new coaching. They're going to solidify Brock Purdy now, which is what they want to do, because then that also offers clarity and direction in terms of the financial direction and the financial moves. Everything else now is going to be, it becomes kind of like a thought, like a decision tree. So they're going to know, okay, we're paying X amount of dollars over here, this, and then all the other decisions are going to be able to kind of fall in line. But again, like I just, it's one thing if this 49ers team kind of just got lucky, where the players that they got were just kind of, it was just really like luck. When a lot of this team was built, it was built by, smart drafting, smart free agency, some aggressive moves, conservative moves at the right time. Like it was all high level decision making in every level of the organization of the franchise. And reportedly they're going to have to contract a bit. Contract meaning, bring things in, because I guess there is some concerns about overspending, but like it's not even like a cap issue. It's more of like what the owners are willing to spend. Reportedly, like this is more of like an ownership thing, where they kind of just want to hold on to a little bit more money because they spent a lot of money and then they ultimately didn't win, etc., etc. But it's just so fascinating to me that people have such concerns about such a high functioning team, that a team that has been so well run for years and has consistently be competitive, consistently competing to be in the Super Bowl, to win a Super Bowl. I for the life of me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense why there's why all the takes are so concerning. And again, from my viewpoint, if you upgrade in coaching, I don't care about the players you lose. It's going to be a net positive. When you make a big upgrade in coaching and you lose players, I believe you're going to be able to take a step forward. And at the very least, it's a necessary evil that then sets you up for the year after. And I do think that's what Saleh brings. The one interesting thing that I find probably arguably the most interesting is also reportedly Shanahan's going to be taking a step back from the offense potentially. That still confuses me, because I'm not sure in what capacity exactly and what that will look like, and kind of, if he does do that, how does this express itself throughout the week of preparing for a game, within the game, halftime, the drive, the playoff, that is still kind of a question mark to me. And I don't even know if he has that answer just yet, quite frankly, because it might be one of those things that's kind of a moving target here, something that kind of ebbs and flows. So and it might have also just been kind of lip service, like who actually honestly knows. So I'm curious to see what that looks like come time September. But we obviously have a long ways to go with that. But it just seems like every take about the 49ers is just like Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Everything is so bad. Everything is so bad. And I don't understand it. I think they're making necessary decisions. They are getting younger. They are going to get cheaper. They upgraded at coaching. I don't see why in this moment in time that's such a bad thing. If you think that they should have tried to double down or triple down to try to make sure that they were as competitive as they possibly could, and so they kind of eat some of these more contracts or hold on to some of these other players to try to win a Super Bowl this coming year, or they should have done it the year before, which would have then cut their potential to win a Super Bowl earlier. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't understand why we continue to have just kind of like the wrong conversations around the 49ers. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the 49ers? Still trust San Francisco to bounce back next season? Yes, I believe they're going to be, let me be very clear. I think they're going to be significantly better than they were last season, okay? That much is very clear. Again, do I think they're going to bounce back and win a Super Bowl? Again, I have no idea. Again, the odds are stacked against them, just like it is for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, or the Chiefs, like any team. So, but in terms of them bouncing back compared to what they did last season, yes. I don't even know how that's even remotely a question. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.